When my son walked into the kitchen holding that book, I knew before he spoke that something inside him had shifted. He wasn't crying. That would have been easier to meet. His eyes were red but dry. The book was pressed flat against his chest, as if it were something fragile he wasn't sure he wanted any more. They said I sound stupid when I read. He didn't say who, he didn't need to. We both knew where everyone else was, down the hall, in the living room, laughter still floating through the house in soft bursts. I didn't react, not because I wasn't angry, because I was. Anger moves quickly. Shame settles slowly. I needed to decide which one I was going to amplify. I took his hand. He resisted for half a second. Not physically, just that subtle backward pull of a child who senses something uncomfortable is about to happen. I squeezed once. We walked together. The living room was still bright with conversation. My brother was mid-story, gesturing dramatically. Sister-in-law had that hand over mouth laugh she uses when she thinks something is harmlessly funny. They stopped when they saw us. "What's going on?" someone asked, still smiling. I didn't answer the question. I looked at my son instead. "Would you read that page again?" He froze. His eyes flicked to the couch, to the adults, back to me. He swallowed. "It's okay," I said. "Go ahead." The room shifted, but only slightly. Mild confusion. A few amused glances. Brother leaned back like he was settling in for something entertaining. My son began reading. The first sentence came out uneven. He tripped on a longer word, corrected himself quietly, a breath too long between lines, a soft snort from the couch. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic. It was the kind of sound people pretend they didn't make. That's when I spoke. "Let's pause for a second." Still even. "I think we need to change something." No one moved. The laughter had drained from the room, replaced with that thin tension people feel when they realize they may have misjudged a moment. "Reading out loud is how people get better at reading out loud," I said. "It's not something you're born smooth at." Silence. My tone conversational, almost logistical. "So from now on, when we have family nights here, we're going to rotate. Everyone will read. A page each. Doesn't matter if it's a recipe, a news article, or a book like this." A small shift on the couch. Brother's posture tightened. "It's good practice?" I continued. "And it's important in this house that no one feels small for trying." There it was, not an accusation, not a speech, just a boundary placed gently but firmly on the table. My sister-in-law cleared her throat. "We were just joking." "I know," I said. And I did. That was the problem. Jokes are easy. Repairing confidence isn't. Son was still standing beside me, book open. I nodded at him. "Finish the paragraph." This time, no one laughed. He stumbled once more. Took his time. His voice didn't get stronger, but it didn't shrink either. When he reached the last sentence, he looked up, not at them, at me. I didn't smile widely. I didn't applaud. I just said, "Good." The room felt different after that. Explosive, not dramatic, just rearranged. Conversation resumed eventually, but more carefully. Brother avoided eye contact for a while. No one challenged the new reading rule. Later that night, after everyone left, son asked quietly, "Are they mad?" "Maybe uncomfortable," I said. "Is that bad?" I considered that. "No. Sometimes uncomfortable is how people learn where the line is." He nodded slowly, processing. Weeks passed. The next time the family gathered, I handed my brother a printed article halfway through dessert. "Your turn," I said. Laughed awkwardly at first, but he read. He stumbled too. Mispronounced a name. Corrected himself. No one snorted, even out of habit. The rule stayed. So did the subtle shift. The teasing never returned, not about reading. Something else changed too. My son began volunteering to read in smaller settings. At school, apparently, he raised his hand once. He told me that like it surprised him. I never mentioned that night again. I didn't need to. Authority doesn't always have to raise its voice. Sometimes it just has to move the room 1 inch to the left and leave it there. No one apologized formally. No dramatic reconciliation happened. The warmth returned slowly, but with edges sanded down. And my son kept reading. But not perfectly, but without shrinking,